How did you get your nickname?
I got my nickname because um it's like because nowadays it feels like boxing is like there's not really no good fights really. There's just like there's it's not the best and the best or um like really putting yourself to the test. That's why I've decided to fight three undefeated fighters in a row, and I decided to show why I belong up there because the name is Revolution because I feel like I'm bringing a revolution back to the sport. Like I want the sport to come back to the best fights and the best fights,
Mm,
and people jumping out of their seats, knockouts, bloody wars.
mm.
I just want to bring that back.
And so that's sort of a statement you want to make with your career is like, you're not afraid to fight the best. You want the best fights, the hardest fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we're in an interesting area that's getting a lot of criticism with, the best not wanting to fight the best. And we're seeing that play out. What do you think the impact of, social media stars coming into boxing and crossover boxing and YouTube stars, has that made an impact on kind of who's deciding they want to fight who? Because there's so much money involved if you can slipstream it to the top. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like that's that definitely made an impact on boxing, on how people viewed boxing, on how boxing is handled. Because yeah, it's just like you said, there's a lot of money involved, and uh, people people don't like to lose money, so
Yeah.
they want to keep their fighters safe. They want to make sure that they get the best fights for their fighter, but not the best as in like the best versus the best, like the best is in they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what do you think about the, sort of like, I guess the crossover, like guys coming over from MMA, YouTube stars? Like, what's your personal opinion on that? Because I feel like, your generation is the generation that's supposed to be attracting. They're saying it's great for the younger
Yeah,
generation. It's getting more eyes on the boxing. You're of that generation, and you're also in the sport, so you have an opportunity to have a really unique opinion and an important opinion. What is yours?
yeah. It's good. I think it's okay because it is bringing a lot of attention to the sport. Like let's say people who didn't even know boxing existed like me, they might know it because their favorite YouTuber boxed somebody or favorite like some influencer boxed another influencer. So they might see that and they might like it. They might go into real boxing. Um and yeah, I think it's okay.
Mm, interesting. Yeah. And does your father come with you to all your camps, or is your brother with you? Who's with you kind of through this journey?
Yeah, my father always comes with me because he's my trainer, and he also cooks for me. He manages my diet, and yeah, so he
Dad's
goes
all
with me.
in.
Yeah,
How cool is that? What does that mean to you to have your father in your corner like that?
it means everything to me because I just know he has my back always. He's always gonna want the best for me. He's always gonna support me.
And there, in boxing, you see a lot of well, throughout history, there's been some pretty famous father-son duos. Do you think you guys will be among that list one day?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, what is if you could have a fantasy matchup and you could fight anyone, past, present, future, who would it be?
Mm, I want to fight Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. Why?
Uh, wait, are we talking about like right now or
Yeah. Like
like
if you
later?
could have it fantasy, why would you want to fight him right now? How would you fight him?
I feel like I'm ready for him. I feel like um, with the correct sparring and the correct training, I feel like I could I could do damage to him.
Yeah.
But
It's definitely, I mean, it was definitely a high profile fight. He's making a lot of eye rolls and gasps in the boxing world right now. He's
yeah,
he's definitely a vocal guy. So I mean, that would be a very high profile fight for you. If you could box anyone from the past, who would it be? Retired boxers, expired boxers. Who would you fight and why?
mm, I'd fight. I think I'd fight Mayweather. I think
Yeah.
I'd fight Mayweather because I just feel like no one could crack him, so I want to give it a try. I'll see if
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
something.
You want to test it. You think you could. Okay, cool. I love that. What have been some of the most, the most inspiring pieces for you, in your career? Like for some, that's maybe a boxing movie, or that's like a song, or that's a book, or that's a person. Who have been sort of your pillars of inspiration, or what has been some of your pillars of inspiration?
Definitely, one of them was gonna be my mom. My mom was definitely my inspiration, and I've seen David go. I've seen David become a world champion, so David Benavidez is also one of my inspirations, and yeah, Mayweather is another inspiration of mine because it's just, I mean, he was 50, he beat everybody. So, uh, definitely inspirational.
Wicked. I love that. And then who's representing you or sponsoring you? How do you go about finding sponsors? Is that something that you're concerned with? Is that something Dad handles? How is that looking for you as you develop your career?
Yeah, it's something my dad handles, but there's always been two sponsors that have been loyal to me since I started my pro career. Uh, La Central, Taqueria, and Javier's Bar and Grill. They've always been by my side.
Amazing. And how did that relationship begin?
My dad actually trained them. Like he used to do personal training in Washington, so he trained them for a little bit, and they made a friendship, and they started sponsoring me.
Amazing. Okay, so what's Vegas have in store for you? How long are you there? What are your plans while you're there? Are you doing anything fun, or is it all business?
I'm I'm probably gonna be here for about 2 months, training. I am gonna spar Lara soon, at Salah's boxing gym. So once I get back conditioned, then I'll start sparring with him, get him ready for his fight, and then but most of the time we might go out on like a weekend to like the strip or like movie theater, but most of the time, like 90% of the time, it's just boxing here. Like we just sleep, eat, and train.
Yeah, and that sounds like that's exactly what you want to be doing. I mean, that sounds like you're right where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, honestly, if I hadn't seen your fight for myself, I would have just thought you were the sweetest human on earth. I'm like, there's no way this man is incapable of beautiful violence like that. And you seem like you have such a strong family, and you have a beautiful relationship with your mom and your dad. And, I really I hope to see you hoist a world title one day. Like, I believe that, your story is very unique. You've had a very unique path, and you've landed yourself in a very important place in boxing right now. And I can't wait to see what you can do. I'm very impressed by your whole story and your commitment, to your mom. And I just think that's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're a talent. Your fight was. I can tell you're strong. You hit hard. You're fast. And so you've got a lot going for you. And on behalf of Empire, I wish you the absolute best and the rest of your camp in your career. And we're going to keep our eyes on you and cheer you on along the way. So know that you got some Canadian fans now for sure.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys inviting me onto the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure to listen, follow, and subscribe to Empire Boxing on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.